Okay, so I have another tutorial. This one's not going to be like a step-by-step where I'm showing you the steps. I'm just going to walk you through them because I kind of already did my jacket and I didn't take any pictures or anything. So pretty much what I'm going to show you is how to take a men's dress shirt that you can pick up at a thrift store or anywhere else like that and turn it into this gothic, industrial, steampunk, bolero type jacket. Like I said, this was a men's just basic black dress shirt that I got at the thrift store for like $2, and I altered it quite a bit. Now, you can do this technique one of two different ways. You can do it the way that I did it with just using a men's shirt, or you can do it using a fitted woman's shirt and changing it up a little bit. So I'm going to show you the details that I put into this, and then I will show you like on a mock-up shirt how to do it. So I changed the collar, the sleeves, and the length of everything, and the buttons. I took the buttons off and put my own buttons on to fit my costume. So with the collar, I took the collar and I folded you'll need a stiff collar in it. I folded the collar up and then folded the pointy parts back and added a little bit of a steampunkish detail with some watch parts that I had. I took off the buttons and changed them, and this only had, when I did it, it had 2 buttons, and I added a 3rd to get more of the detail, and I used gears that I got at Joann's in the scrapbooking section and clear monofilament and sewed them on. So now all the buttons are gears. And then I also did the same thing in the cuffs. I took off the regular buttons and used monofilament buttons or monofilament and gears and sewed in new buttons. I took off the sleeves and changed the sleeves quite a bit, and I changed the length. And then here is the back. Okay, so I'm going to walk over and show you my mock-up on how to do this. Okay, so this is just a mock-up, just a guy's work shirt. And how you do this is you start off by putting this on, and you want to start off with a shirt that is 1 size larger than what you normally wear. If you are going to make this longer, you want to seam rip the pocket off. If you're going to make it shorter so it goes above your breast and sits on your chest, you don't really have to worry about the pocket, because when you cut off the excess, it's going to take the pocket off with it. So turn it inside out, put it on, and what you're going to do is you're going to take and pin the armholes so that the armholes are right underneath your armpit, and you're going to pin down so that you get like a natural curve, like a natural flow. You're going to pin it down on both sides. Okay? Then you're going to, while it's still inside out, you're going to seam rip your sleeves off. Seam rip them. Do not cut them. Seam rip them out, because you want to keep your edges and you want to keep everything nice, so you have less work to do when it's all said and done. So seam rip out your sleeves. When you get your sleeves out and you have everything pinned up, you're going to sew where you pinned so that the shirt fits you perfectly. So it fits right underneath your armpits, it fits in your back really well, fits on your chest really well. So you're taking out the excess fabric because you bought the shirt larger than you. And the reason you buy a shirt larger than yourself is because you want the bigger sleeves. Because you're going to leave the sleeves alone. When you're not going to cut them down or trim them up or anything. Your sleeves, once you take them off, you leave them alone until you put them back on. So that's why you want a larger shirt. So once you get your item sewed, you're going to sew it inside out. You're going to cut out your excess fabric. Okay? So then you're going to move on to measuring. While you have it, when it's all sewed, you can turn it right side up, put it back on, and figure out where you want your lines to lay, like where you want the shirt to lay. Once you figure that out, you're going to take it back off, and then you're going to mark out how you want it with like chalk or disappearing ink or something like that. So how I did mine is I buttoned it all up, got it all nice, laid it flat, and then I went from my highest point where I wanted it in the center and went down at an angle. Keep in mind, before you cut, once you get your lines all out, get them all lined out, and then you want it to go straight across the back or how you want it, keep in mind, seam allowances, seam allowances, seam allowances. Do not forget to leave a seam allowance when you do this. So when you're cutting, make sure the line that you want your item to lay, that you cut a little bit below it so that you can fold it under and get a nice finished hem. So cut out your item, like cut out where you want it to lay, hem it, fold it under, hem it all the way around, and then the body, the basic body construction of your shirt is done. Now, if you don't want to use a men's shirt for this, you want a more fitted girl shirt for this, same exact concept. Get a shirt that fits you, seam rip out the arms. Pick out a shirt that is the same color. Like, so if you're doing a white fitted girl shirt, pick out a white men's shirt. Same exact color, or a black men's shirt. Again, you want to get a size larger than yourself because you want the extra fabric in the sleeves. Okay? Because that's how you're going to get your poofy Victorian thing. Now, with the men's shirt, the reason I'm telling you you might want to do it with the girl shirt is because when you're using a men's shirt and you're using it larger than yourself, your shoulder allowances are going to be longer. So your poof won't sit on top of your shoulder like up here where it should be. It might sit a little bit lower. And that's where mine sits, is lower on my shoulder. But I'm going to take and put some elastic inside so that I can put the elastic up on my bicep and push the poof up so it looks like it is up on top of my shoulder. If you don't want to put the elastic in the arms, or you don't want to like do anything like that, recommend a girl's shirt that fits you well, that's the same color. Get two shirts. Get a girl's shirt that fits you well and a men's shirt that is bigger than you that are the same exact color. Okay, so once you get all that figured out, how you want to do it, it's time to sew in your arms. And how you're going to do this is, now mind you, your arms are bigger than what is on your shirt. So you are going to start out with your bottom seam of your shirt sleeve and your bottom seam of wherever you put your you ended your where your armpit ends. Okay, because all this extra fabric will be gone. All you will have is the body of your shirt. You're going to pin your shirt, your arm, and your two seams, your two bottom seams meeting up. Then you're going to pin flat halfway up. So to, like, say your armhole ends here, you're going to pin flat. Pin your armhole, your arm into your armhole flat, up halfway. You will be left with a bunch of extra fabric. You're going to go halfway up all the way around. So then just like this top, like 2 or 3 inches on both sides will be open. Then you are going to pinch and pin, pinch and pin, pinch and pin. You are tucking your fabric because you want to get those ruffle poof sleeves. And you're going to do that all the way around. And it might take you a couple of times to get the exact measurements of your tucks and your pins and stuff so that everything lines up evenly so that you have the nice poof up top. Once you get everything all pinned in, you're going to sew your arm back in. And there's tutorials online to show you how to sew arms in. I'm not going to explain that because, like, I'm assuming that you have basic sewing skills. Like, this isn't an advanced project. This is a pretty easy project, but you have to have advanced sewing or basic sewing knowledge and basic construction to be able to do this. I'm a beginner as far as clothes making go. I have made a few items from scratch, like dresses and things like that. But for reconstruction, this is one of the very first projects I've ever done that was a complete reconstruction. Okay, so I'm going to take you over to my model here and show you what I mean. So you can see right here I have the poof and all the extra tucks and pins and tucks and pins, and then you can see that down here that my seam is flat. There is no poofing, no tucking, no nothing. And then I get my nice poof. And as you can see, like, my shoulder ends right here but I still have this extra bit of fabric. So that's why I'm saying you might want to use a girl's shirt. I didn't think about that before I started, and I'm not remaking this jacket. So just keep that in mind, that you might want to use a girl's shirt and a guy's shirt. And then also on guys' shirts, if you're doing it, you have like this little bit of extra back here that they use for like adjustments so that they can move and stuff like that. I tucked mine in when I was sewing in my hem. Like, I made sure that I had it tucked down so that it wouldn't just be flopping and everything else like that. So pay attention to some of your details. Make sure you get that sewed down. It adds a nice detail to it, and then you can actually add gears or whatever design element that you want to this to make this, dress this up. I'm not worried about the back of mine because I will have a very long wig on that will cover this, so I'm not worried about that. So like I said, make sure you get your bottom all hemmed up nicely and everything else like that. And this is very versatile. You can add lace, you can add pleating, you could add all kinds of stuff to the bottom of this to make it longer. You can, dress up the front of it here. I want it plain because I'm going to have a very decorative corset. So, these are very versatile. You can do a lot with them. So this, like I said, this is just a basic walkthrough just to show you how to do it. And again, with the sleeves down here, you can dress these up with lace. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's very, very versatile. I left mine alone because this is longer than my arm, and I made the cuffs tighter. I added I added the button further back so that it would be really tight, so that it would poof up right here too. So it'll sit on my wrist really well and then poof up. So that is the basic construction of this shirt. I hope you guys found it helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I will walk you through. If I wasn't clear about anything, just let me know. All right, I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.